You know that moment, right? Before you speak, that tiny heartbeat of hesitation when your mind races ahead and your voice hesitates behind. That thin, almost invisible pause where every memory of embarrassment, every past mistake, every fear of being misunderstood quietly gathers, like a storm at the back of your throat. That is where today begins. Day 1 taught you how to open to listen to your own voice with tender curiosity, to allow sound to exist without judgment. But today we step closer to the edge of that storm. We will not run from it. We will not try to erase fear. We will walk right into it, hand in hand, until we understand what it has been trying to teach us all along. Fear is not the enemy of your voice. It is its most honest teacher. Every time your heart beats faster before you speak, it is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you are about to grow. Every tremor in your voice is a reminder that you care. Fear only appears in the places that matter the most. Take a breath now, slowly in through the nose for 2 counts. Hold and out through the mouth for 3. Feel how your body settles into this moment. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unlocks. That gentle stillness is not emptiness, it's preparation. You are ready to begin. Imagine a mountain path just before dawn. The world is gray and quiet. You can't see the summit yet, only the first few steps ahead. Your breath forms small clouds in the cold air. That mountain is your fear of speaking. It looks tall, intimidating, impossible. But the truth is, you don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to take the first step and listen to what fear is trying to say. When you whisper a word and your voice shakes, that is fear saying, I want to protect you. It is not trying to stop you. It is trying to make sure you are safe. But sometimes the safest thing we can do for ourselves is to walk straight. Through that protective, Wallen discovered that the world on the other side is not as dangerous as we imagined. Say this line aloud now. My fear is a teacher, not a trap. Say it once, softly, as if you're trying to believe it. Say it again, firmly, like you already do. Say it a third time, slow and steady, like you're teaching someone else. Notice how each repetition makes it sink a little deeper into your bones. There was a time you can remember it when speaking felt natural. As a child, you spoke freely. You made sounds without worrying about grammar, without thinking about perfection. Every laugh, every word, every question was a discovery. You were not afraid of being wrong because you did not yet believe that wrong existed. But somewhere along the way, someone laughed when you made a mistake. Someone interrupted. Someone said, say it properly. And in that moment, a tiny seed of fear was planted. That seed grew into a habit of holding your voice inside. Now, today, we begin to unlearn that habit. We pull out that seed, look at it closely, and say, you don't control me anymore. I want you to remember something important. Fluency is not about speed. It is about connection. When you speak slowly and honestly, you own the moment. Fear loses its grip because you are no longer racing against it. You are walking beside it. So let's walk together. Take another breath. Say this sentence. I am learning to speak with fear, not without it. Because fear does not disappear, it transforms. It becomes the fire beneath your words, the pulse that keeps your voice alive. Now picture yourself in a room, not a classroom, but a small, intimate space. A warm lamp glows in the corner. You're sitting in a chair, fingers tapping the table, heartbeat fast. Across from you is not a teacher, not a judge, just a friend who wants to hear you. They smile. They say, tell me something true. That's all. No tests, no grades. Just truth. Say this out loud. Something true about today is. And finish the sentence. It can be anything. I was tired this morning. I felt hopeful. When the sun came in, I almost didn't try, but then I did. The act of saying something true is a victory every time. Fear feeds on silence. It shrinks when you speak. That's why today we practice speaking through fear, not after it's gone. You will notice 3 stages each time you face fear. Stage 1, resistance. Your mind says, I can't. Your chest tightens. Your voice retreats. Stage 2, recognition. You notice the tension, you name it. You say, this is fear. Naming it is half the victory. Stage 3, release. You speak anyway? Not perfectly, but honestly. And in that moment, fear becomes a bridge, not a barrier. Try this mini practice now. Say this line softly, I am afraid. Just admit it. Feel the truth of it. Now add a second line. But I will speak. Anyway. Notice how those 2 lines complete each other like inhale and exhale. The first acknowledges the storm. The second walks through it. Every brave sentence in your life will carry that same pattern, fear and action, hesitation and movement. They exist together like shadow and light. Sometimes fear disguises itself as perfectionism. It says, I'll speak when I'm ready, but you'll never feel fully ready. No one does. Even the most fluent speaker feels a spark of uncertainty before beginning. The difference is they begin anyway. So today, we make a vow. No waiting for perfect moments. No waiting for the right words. We speak now from where we are with what we have. That is where true growth happens. Hello, my real voice. This is the moment your voice becomes alive. No longer hidden, no longer tethered by hesitation or doubt. And it begins to resonate within you, echoing through every part of your being. Every inhale and exhale now carries the weight of awareness. Every small movement of your lips, tongue, and jaw is part of a delicate symphony that is uniquely yours. And today we continue to cultivate it, expand it, and anchor it in ways that make speaking not just possible, but powerful. Remember, fear is not an enemy. It is a guide, a mirror reflecting the areas in which your voice yearns to grow. And every subtle tremor you feel before you speak is evidence that you care deeply, that your words matter, that your presence demands recognition. Let us begin by breathing together. Inhale. Slowly through the nose for a count of 2. Hold for a moment. Exhale for a count of 3 through the mouth. Feeling your body relax. Your shoulders release, your chest open. The quiet energy of readiness settling in. You are here, fully present. Prepared to meet the challenge of speaking with authenticity, of letting sound emerge from the deepest part of yourself. Picture a narrow path in a forest just before dawn. Mist curling around the trees. The ground damp, the air crisp. That path is the journey of your fear. And every hesitant step is an invitation to move forward. Not to conquer, but to understand. To witness, to embrace. When your voice shakes as you whisper a word, recognize it as your internal guide, not as a barrier. It is showing you where your attention is needed, where your courage must grow. Say it aloud. My fear is a teacher, not a trap. Once softly, as if testing the truth of it. Again firmly, claiming it as your own. And a third time with deliberate calm, as if teaching another the lesson you now embody. Let each repetition settle into your bones, into the muscles that shape your articulation, into the rhythms of your speech, embedding recognition and acceptance simultaneously. Recall the child you once were, the one who spoke freely without the constriction of perfectionism, whose laughter and curiosity formed the very basis of communication. That child did not yet know the concept of wrong, and in that freedom, every sound, every expression was pure, immediate, and alive. Somewhere along the way, small moments chipped away at that freedom, a laugh at a mispronunciation, a correction given too sharply, an expectation of perfection. That tiny seed of fear took root, and now, decades later, it influences the pause before each sentence, the hesitation before each word. Today, we dig up that seed, examine it, and say clearly, decisively, you no longer control me. The journey is not about speed, not about flawless execution. Fluency is connection, the connection between your mind, your voice, and your presence in the world. When you speak slowly, intentionally, with awareness, the grip of fear loosens. Your words are no longer a reaction to silence. They are a deliberate expression of experience, thought, and feeling. Take another breath, allowing it to fill your lungs. Expand your chest and anchor your presence. Say aloud, I am learning to speak with fear. Not without it. This simple phrase reminds you that courage is cultivated through engagement, through facing fear directly, rather than waiting for its disappearance. Imagine now a quiet room bathed in soft light, a single lamp illuminating the warmth of the space, a chair in which you sit, fingers lightly tapping the table, heartbeat perceptible in the chest. Across from you is not a teacher or a judge, but a friend. Someone who desires to hear truth without pretense or judgment. They smile and say, "Tell me something real." That moment is your laboratory for authenticity. Speak a line aloud. Something true about today is, and finish it with anything genuinely felt. It might be, "I felt nervous when I woke up," or "I hesitated before speaking. But I tried," or "I noticed." A small kindness today that made me smile. Each sentence affirms your ability to speak despite fear. Each expression a tiny victory against silence. Fear feeds on quiet. Speaking shrinks it. Today, we will not wait for fear to vanish. We will learn to speak through it, alongside it. Recognize the 3 stages you encounter when fear emerges. First, resistance, the chest tightening, the mind whispering, "I can't." Second, recognition, naming it, admitting. This is fear, which itself is a step toward liberation. And third, release, speaking anyway. Imperfectly, honestly, letting fear transform from obstacle into companion. Practice this pattern. Softly say, "I am afraid," acknowledging the presence of fear. Then immediately follow with, "But I will speak anyway," allowing action to follow recognition. Inhale and exhale in harmony with these words, noticing the physiological release that accompanies them. Perfectionism often masquerades as fear, urging, "Wait until you are ready." Understand that readiness is an illusion. No one ever feels fully prepared. Even the most fluent speakers feel hesitation before articulation. The difference lies in action beginning regardless. Stepping forward despite uncertainty. Now internalize the truth. The balance between voice and fear is not adversarial, but symbiotic. Fear is a small bird in your chest, fluttering with each attempt to speak. Resist it, and it panics. Acknowledge it, breathe with it. Allow it to coexist, and it settles, becoming the subtle pulse that animates your voice. Say aloud, "My voice and my fear can exist together." Micro stories are the tool for practicing emotion-laden speech. Speak short, honest moments. I stepped to the podium. My hands shook. I spoke anyway. I forgot one word. I laughed. I continued. I wanted to be perfect. I chose to be real. Craft your own 3-line story. Repeat aloud 3 times. And feel the physical release as your body learns to accommodate speech amidst fear. Listening is a core skill. Great speakers are first attentive to their own voice. Their breath, the precise weight and sound of each syllable. Pause. Close your eyes and greet your inner voice. Hello. My real voice. Recognize the subtle imperfections. The unevenness, the softness, all are markers of authenticity. All are part of the instrument you are learning to master. Repetition anchors this practice. Speak your line 3 times, each with slightly varied emotion curiosity. Calm. Surprised to create flexibility and resilience. Practice asking and answering questions aloud. What surprised me today? I noticed a small act of kindness. I felt nervous but acted anyway. Each answer should be 2 short sentences, forcing clarity and brevity while maintaining honesty. Record your voice daily for 1 minute. Include a vivid image, a short story, and a future statement. Listen back once, noting 1 line you liked and 1 adjustment to make tomorrow. This loop fosters self-coaching, creating incremental improvements that compound over days. Prepare a closing sentence projecting into the future. 1 year from now, I will speak confidently in English, sharing my stories with clarity and joy. State as if it already occurred. Embedding conviction into your neurology. Aligning thought, action, and voice. Develop rescue phrases for moments of blockage. Let me try that again. 1 second. I'll find the right word. I'm thinking how to say this. Use these strategically to maintain fluency without interrupting. The natural flow. Care for your instrument. Hydrate, avoid strain. Perform gentle vocal warm-ups, such as humming for 10 seconds. Humming relaxes the vocal cords and prepares the lips and tongue for articulation. Build curiosity and narrative tension in your speech. Start with a fact. Introduce a subtle, unresolved detail. Resolve it 2 lines later, creating a forward-driving arc that holds listener attention. Practice conversation starters with short, honest responses. What small surprise did you have today? I found a note in my pocket. It told me to say 1 sentence aloud. I did it, and I felt lighter and freer. Each statement trains natural, flowing English, embedding bravery and truth. Close the morning ritual with reflection. Say, I did 1 small, brave thing today. Repeat 3 times, each louder, each with more conviction, feeling it settle into your core. Your voice has moved from the hidden room of doubt to the expansive space of sound. Day 2 is about tenderness, ritual, and repeated courage. Mistakes are lessons, and each brave sentence builds upon the last, gradually cracking the wall of silence. This is not performance. It is reclamation. Own your accent, rhythm, and breath. Say aloud, I will try. Repeat once gently, once steadily, once with full belief. Your voice is present, alive, and evolving. Engage with every line, every breath, every syllable. Build momentum through repetition, infusing emotion and authenticity. Notice physical resonance, the chest, throat, tongue, lips all collaborating to produce sound that is uniquely yours. Continue micro-story practice. Each story a 3-line exercise, beginning, middle, and heartfelt end. Anchor sentences in personal experience. I noticed a small bird outside. Its wings flapped quietly. I smiled at its freedom. Repeat aloud. Adjusting emotion each time. Curiosity.com. Incorporate pauses strategically. Letting silence add weight, intrigue, and cinematic effect. Each pause is an opportunity for presence, for listening, for anticipation. Experiment with descriptive images. The warm mug, the soft sock, the bus that hissed. Bring them to life verbally. The mug had a small chip at its rim. Sock was warm from the dryer. Bus hissed gently at the light. Short, concrete sentences anchor language in lived experience. Use your body, subtle gestures, head nods, hands on chest. Facial micro-expressions to reinforce vocal meaning. Your body cues memory and fluency. Build sentence chains. Combine micro-stories into connected narratives. Maintaining emotional truth and natural rhythm. I opened a note in my pocket. It said, "Try one sentence." Today, I smiled and spoke it. Aloud. Repeat. With variations in tone, pace, and inflection. Develop awareness of emotional coloring. Each line can be calm, playful, surprised, reflective. Experiment to find authentic expression. Build the habit of daily recording and review. Observe one line of confidence. One line to refine, one adjustment for next practice. This feedback loop ensures progressive mastery. Project Forward. Speak about future events in present tense to mentally rehearse success. Tomorrow, I will tell a story confidently. Next week, I will engage in conversation with ease. Visualize context. Audience and environment to simulate real-life application. Integrate breathing, posture, and physical relaxation into speech. Breath anchors focus and smoothness. Voice care, hydration, gentle warming, mindful speaking pace. Incorporate narrative hooks, tension, and resolution within spoken exercises to maintain engagement. Shadow professional recordings for rhythm, intonation, and timing. Emulate natural phrasing, not mimicry, adapting to your authentic voice. Apply intentional repetition. Each repetition exploring different emotional undertones. Transition from scripted lines to spontaneous speech gradually. Maintaining the clarity, honesty, and rhythm established. Develop mental resilience. Embrace hesitations as signposts of engagement, not failure. Celebrate every completed sentence. Expand vocabulary contextually through stories, not isolated memorization. Layer description, emotion, and reflection to enrich speech. Connect past experiences, present actions, and future projections seamlessly. Anchor learning in sensory perception, visual, auditory, tactile references enhance retention. Practice improvisation within structure. Create on-the-spot three-line stories with new details each time. Apply micro-pauses strategically to emphasize key words. Control pacing and invite listener attention. Continue layering complexity gradually. Combine micro-stories, emotional variation, pauses, and reflective statements. Maintain daily ritual, morning and evening, recording progress and reflecting. Observe voice transformation over time, noting confidence, fluency, and emotional range. Integrate gestures, posture, and subtle physical cues consistently. Apply to real-world conversations, meetings, presentations, and casual interactions. Reinforce progress by reviewing recordings, highlighting authentic moments, noting areas of growth. Over weeks, compound practice leads to automaticity. Fear becomes coexisting companion, not barrier. Daily repetition, mindful attention. An intentional emotion, anchor vocal presence. Experiment with varying speech speed. volume and tone to convey different emotional states while maintaining clarity and authenticity. Visualize success scenarios, rehearse aloud, and combine with micro-story exercises. Focus on breath alignment with phrases to maintain calmness and control. Introduce multisensory descriptions to enhance narrative richness. Regularly record, review, adjust, and implement new techniques. Engage in interactive dialogues with imagined or real partners to simulate conversation flow. Gradually extend sentence complexity while maintaining fluency and emotional truth. Combine rehearsed content with spontaneous reflections for adaptability. Integrate mindfulness with speech. Remain present to words, thoughts, and feelings as they emerge. Recognize emotional signals as guidance, not hindrance. Reinforce courage through acknowledgement of fear, deliberate action, and compassionate self-feedback. Celebrate each small victory, speaking even when hesitant. Track progress over 7 days to build momentum. Layer practices, micro-stories, descriptive images, future projection sentences, emotional variation, controlled pauses, and physical alignment. Engage consistently, continuously pushing comfort zones in manageable increments. Speak aloud, reflect, record, and adjust with insight. Continue combining sensory details with personal experience to deepen engagement. Embrace all mistakes as learning moments. Revising and repeating lines within. Apply narrative hooks within. Exercises to maintain. Internal and external listener. Attention. Integrate daily observation of surroundings into speech practice. Continue to build a library of microstories for flexibility in expression. Explore tonal range, pitch modulation, and pacing for varied impact. Connect breath, body, and vocal output in